Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. In today's exciting episode, we take a look at my sewing plans and all the sewing challenges that are happening this month, November 2024.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
First up, we will look at the sewing challenges, then we'll take a peek at what I've been working on, and we'll talk about my plans for November. So this is what I've been working on. I added a triangle to the lobster jacket and haven't done much more. Anyway, you can find all these sewing challenges on Stash Hub. They used to do a blog each month, but now I think you have to actually download the app, and they've got a challenges section on that, and all the details are in that. So the first one is make a garment a month, and the theme for this month is novel textiles. This is so completely my thing. So basically you use an unusual fabric, an unusual textile, or you use it in an unusual way. So yeah, either use a really, really amazing fabric to do something simple, or use a really simple fabric and just bling it up to the max. And yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's kind of what I do every item I make. Anyway, the next one is called A Gift to November. I don't understand the title, but basically you start making handmade gifts early, and then you won't be so stressed in December is the thinking behind it. And they have, like, if you get it, whatever you get made by the 30th of November, you post a picture on Instagram and you can win some prizes or something. But I think the larger point is that you are less stressed when December comes around. And so I just got some things off Pinterest. You can make Christmas tree ornaments for your Christmas tree. That is so cute. There's all different ones. So if you use felt, then you don't have to worry about raw seams, because felt sort of and then you can just download the shapes or draw them freehand and then just trace around them, or you can use cookie cutters or something like that, and you can just make loads of little ornaments. And for some reason garden gnomes are a big thing. I don't really understand. I suppose they look a little bit like Santa or something. I think these ones are cute, but yeah, you can make, instead of having like paper tags, you could also and you can make gingerbread men up as big pillows or big toys. And there was dove one. So yeah, if you just go on Pinterest, there's loads that you can download, loads of templates, and there's probably loads of YouTube videos that you can look at as well. I'm not really a present sort of person or things. It sounds ridiculous, like every week I make a new jacket, but I don't actually buy much stuff. I'm just using up stuff that I bought like a decade and a half ago. Anyway, but what I would make if I had like one of those big families, I would probably, the Berta 6123 is such a good pattern. I would buy like 10 yards or 20 yards of Christmas fabrics, or holiday fabrics, and just make matching jackets for everyone, reversible jackets, have one Christmas print on one side and the other on the other side. And that way, because I don't know, people seem to be obsessed with taking photos, so that way you could have two different photos where you're all matching, or you could wear whichever side you want. So yeah, and like, I know there are people who can knit, and that's awesome, but I totally can't knit. So making those jackets is probably what I would do. Next, there's this tunic one where you have to make a tunic. Which reminded me that I really want to make another one of these keyhole blouses, but I want to make it longer as a dress. Next up, we have Slow Fashion Challenge. Oh my God, these names, just pick a few letters and that could be your hashtag. These names are too long. You have to type it in to Instagram and then find the right one. Anyway, it's the first half of November and there's a prompt each day. But I read through them and I guess they're good. If you don't know where to start, then it's probably a really good idea. But basically the idea is to make you more sustainable and think about just fixing things and making something, hand making things, rather than running out and buying 10 and then returning them and that whole cycle of consumption. So I like the idea behind it, but I'm not sure I could bother doing a different prompt every single day for half a month. But the next challenge is for the UK. Because sizing is different in Britain, like they have the same numbers, but they're different measurements. They used to not be allowed to sell American-sized patterns in the UK, but they've recently started selling them, and they've got a promotional competition on. But basically simplicity.com, or there's a UK version of it, and you buy the patterns, and if you make something from one of the big pattern companies, then you post your picture on Instagram and you go into a prize to get like a voucher basically. But so simplicity.com has every public holiday they have a big sale. So just make a wish list and bookmark the ones that you like. And then whenever there's a sale, you just get each pattern is only a few dollars. And I don't know, I tend to make multiple jackets from one pattern. So I think they're worth it. Okay, only a few to go. The Heart Foundation is, they're having a donation drive this month or something. So you make whatever you're making, a skirt or a shirt or whatever, then you sew a little heart on it and you donate to the Heart Foundation if you want. I think there's loads of really, really worthwhile things that you could donate to, but whatever your thing is, I do obviously do triangles on the back of my jackets. I do like the idea of wearing your heart on your sleeve, like whatever your cause is, just slap it on the back of your jacket. I remember the first jacket I ever made. I didn't actually make the jacket. I bought it from a thrift store or army surplus store. I bought this vintage army jacket and I embroidered the back and it just said free Tibet. And for ages I didn't put anything on the back of my jackets, just like regular, like the front and the back were the same. But then at the start of this year I did I had the movie themes for each month, and I had Desperately Seeking Susan. I'm like, why would anyone put a pyramid on the back? And then I was like, actually, resistance. So I've been putting triangles on the back, and I kind of want to go back and put triangles on most of my jackets, because it's just like, I can't believe I hadn't started doing that sooner. Anyway, there is one last sewing competition, and it's from Stash Hub, and you get prizes from Sew Hayley Jane. They do this monthly box where you pay a subscription, and each month they send you out like a box, and it's got 2 yards of fabric, 2 meters of fabric in it, plus some trinkets and some other, and a magazine and stuff like that. It's quite good. Anyway, so the competition is Sew 2 to Celebrate 2. So Stash Hub, the app, has been around for 2 years. And so you have to use up 2 fabrics or 2 meters or 2 yards of cotton fabric. Well, I'm definitely going to make 2 mock-ups. So I'll be using 2 of those, and they take usually a yard or a yard and a half to make those. But also I have these 2 fabrics here, and I'm going to make Berta 6123 jackets out of them, and I'm going to bead them. So I'm using 2 fabrics from my stash, as well as the cotton ones. Anyway, if you want more information on any of those, just go to stash_hub on Instagram or use the app. And I'm not sponsored, it's just that's where I get all the information from. So if you want more details. And also, December is Vlogmas, where you make a video every single day. So if you're thinking about starting your channel or anything, or you just like doing the sewing challenges, with Vlogmas, you kind of have to, I start making videos early, and that way I can have some days off in December instead of having to do something every single day. Back in May, for Me Made May, I was going to get out all my jackets and all my dresses, like everything that I've made that I still own. And I was going to do little capsule collections of the, the pastel ones, the red ones, the pink ones, the navy ones. So I think I might do that for a few of the days as well. And these two, I often get asked, like regularly get asked, which jackets I wear the most. The navy one on the end is probably the most worn thing that I've made. But also this pastel one, it's sort of, I don't know, there's something very Mother of the Bride about it. It's an off-white, and then it's got these pastel color threads through it. It's just the most beautiful thing. And I handmade the beaded trim on both of them, actually. And they took forever. But yeah, I just love them. They're so classic looking, and yeah, I love them. These beads, they've got a hole at the top rather than in the middle. So I've kept them aside. And when I do the dripping beads on some of the red triangle jackets, I might use them on that. So, yeah, I've already showed you this. So I'm starting to bead the second half of the lobster jacket, but I stopped and I did a triangle on the back. I wasn't going to, but then I was like, oh, no, I really want to. It just adds the perfect amount of weight. Oh, I have these beads kind of match the background color of the lobster fabric. So I initially thought maybe I'll do the triangle out of them, but I'm glad I went with the red. I'm really, really happy with it. So then I just packed these away again and started doing the second half of the jacket. And yeah, I've got these two fabrics, which are going to be my Berta 6123 jackets, and I'm going to bead them. You probably won't see the beading until December, but you'll probably see the making of each jacket. I'll make a mock-up of a jacket I haven't made before. Then I'll make one of those. Then I'll make a mock-up, and then I'll make one of those. And this is also a pattern that I've used before. So I hate making new patterns. I just hate change. I like what I like, and that's all. So yeah, I sort of reward myself every time I do a pattern that I've never done before. I'll do after I do that, then as a reward I'll do a jacket pattern I've done before. Oh, and also, the pine forest layer cake dress that I absolutely love. Well, I had some green fabrics in the background there that I got a bit carried away when I made the skirt for this dress, and it was way too long. So I ended up just taking the bottom 2 bits of fabric off. And because this loop of fabric is 16 yards around, yeah, I got a bit carried away. I was able to cut it down and make it into 3 tiers. So it's 2 yards, 4 yards and 8 yards. And then I had enough left over to make the top as well. So I've made the skirt for that dress, but I've got to make the bodice for it, and then I'll make a video. Also, the dinosaur jacket, I really, really want to bead this because it is the cutest jacket and I want to actually finish it. So I'll probably put the teal giant sequins and beads over the whiter parts of it so that it's all really colourful. I think that would be fabulous. I also need to make collection videos of everything I made in September and everything I made in October as well. Plus I have some other really, really beautiful fabrics that I want to turn into jackets just because I want to bead them so much. But yeah. So loads to do, and probably won't even get through half of it. And I have to make an episode about my Make 9 for 2024. I failed dismally. I've only done like 3 out of 9. I had 11 actually instead of 9. So yeah, I failed dismally, but I suppose I can do some of them, try and get some of them made for December Vlogmas. I have to do something each day. I don't have to, but I could just take the whole month off. Except I've made a gingerbread house jacket for the last 2 years in a row. So now I kind of want to make a third one. And I've got either a gingerbread coloured corduroy jacket fabric that I can make into a jacket, or I could and I could do a little deer, Bambi deer on the back. Or I've got this Chanel style tweed, Lesage style tweed in gingerbread colours, and I could do that one up. I'm not sure which. But before I can do any of those wonderful things, I have to finish the lobster jacket. Half done. Less than half to go. Anyway, that is it for this episode. I hope you've been inspired by some of those sewing challenges. Stash Hub on Instagram is the easiest way to find out more information on those. And this is I keep telling you about my bag of multicolored seed beads. Aren't they adorable? I was going to use them on different projects, but I don't know, they look so good together. Maybe I'll use them all on something. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been inspired to, I don't know, finish something. I have got so many unfinished projects. It is ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to go work on something. Hopefully finish something. Oh, and my wine-coloured floral jacket. Making a floral jacket out of these wine-coloured and dark red flowers was on my make and iron list. So what I'm thinking is I'll make a Berta 6123, butterfly it, like lay it flat, and then take all the each of the flowers off these and stitch them to the foliage bits and stitch them to that, and then sew up the sides and make it into a jacket that way. This one, I mean, I love the color mix and I don't mind the beads so much, but the big flowers are on the front and it looks ridiculous. So I'm going to put all the big flowers on the back and just use medium and small ones on the front. And I'm not a huge fan of that scoop neck either. The neckline's going to be higher on the next one. Anyway, loads of things to do. Happy sewing.